What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay commentary, and what you'll be watching here in the background is a late join, pretty epic comeback. We joined in, there were some streaks out. It was pretty much like all odds against us, especially because we were in a 3-man whenever we joined in late, so that means our team was definitely getting pushed in. But today I'm going to be going over the Basilisk Revolver, and you guys can see right here that this sidearm is pretty good. But I do want to give some thoughts and opinions on it after we go over the class setup of what I like to run on my Basilisk. And I am going to be honest with you guys, I don't think it's overpowered, and I'll get into why I don't think it's overpowered. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the class setup so that way you guys know what to run on it. Let's get right into it. So for today's class setup here, I got a little bit of a different image for you guys. This is actually from the preview, and the reason I have it in the preview is because the text was actually pretty hard to see over the background image in game, so I want to make sure you guys could see which attachments are which, and I figured this made it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So we got the snake shot ammo on this, which is going to turn it into a little mini shotgun. We also have the Basilisk grip laser on. The reason for this is going to help us with our hipfire recoil control and accuracy, and it also has no cons, so that means the laser is not going to be visible to enemies. I also have the Bryson HTA trigger on because this gun has a hammer delay and a pretty slow fire rate. If you don't know what a hammer delay is, it's basically whenever you pull the trigger, there's going to be a delay till the shot fires. So this is going to help speed up that hammer delay as well as give us a little bit of a faster fire rate. And then I also have the 10.5-inch F-Tac arrow barrel on, and we'll go into the tuning settings on this in a little bit. It's pretty much just to increase our movement speed and damage range, so that way we can maximize the potential of this weapon. And I also have the SO-RO99 grip, and this one is that fast draw animation, and I'll get into how you guys can more consistently pull out your pistol with the fast draw animation, because sometimes it feels like it's kind of inconsistent, and sometimes you might not even get for it to come out in fast draw. So we'll go over that in a second here. As for the barrel tuning, we're going to have it at maximum damage range. That's really the only thing I want to worry about whenever it comes to this pistol is ADS speed and damage range. But damage range is always going to be the most important thing because we're going to want to try to have the most range as possible, since this is a miniature shotgun that has some one-shot kill capabilities, but the range is very short, as well as it's most accurate when you're ADS'd, so that's why aim down sight speed is also important. So for a trigger, I just have it maximized in aim down sight speed. I'm not worried about aiming idle stability and trying to increase the sprint to fire speed, because we're most likely not going to be sprinting around when we're using this thing. It's more about pulling it out and holding an angle, as well as the aiming idle stability is going to make it so the pellet spread isn't as consistent if we nerf that too hard. So I just recommend going for aim down sight speed whenever it comes to this trigger. And lastly, we have our fast draw attachment here, and this one's going to give us some aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, as well as give us some fast draw, which means we're going to be able to pull out our pistol really fast instead of having to go through an animation, because this thing, newsflash, is very slow to pull out. So again, the tune here is just going for aim down sight speed. We're just taking away recoil control and recoil steadiness and all that kind of stuff, because recoil doesn't really matter whenever we're trying to get a one-shot kill with this anyways. So moving back to the gameplay, as you guys can see, it's a little bit of a mixture of the Vaznev 9K SMG, which is a very good submachine gun, and it's also a little bit of a mixture of the snake shot, as you guys were able to see in the clip. I'm not really going to use just the snake shot for gameplay, especially when skill-based matchmaking is in the game, because, well, it's going to be pretty hard to use this thing past pretty much point blank. But it's basically a gun that's very useful if you're in a pinch and people are trying to push you and you know for a fact that you might get overran or maybe you're weak. If you can pull it out, maybe lay down on the ground, hug a nice tight angle, and wait for them to push you, you can bait them into making the wrong play, and you can get a free and easy kill with them with the Basilisk pistol. But again, why is this thing not overpowered? Well, the one-shot, one-kill range isn't very far, and I actually feel like it may have been stealth nerfed, because I feel that it was much farther, and then all of a sudden a couple days ago it really feels like it's been neutered a little bit, and it just doesn't quite have the range that it once had. So yeah, it's not what it used to be, but it still is a reliable pistol, and it is something that I would recommend you guys use because, again, it's just very consistent and reliable whenever it comes to making those plays where you might really just be in a pinch and you really just need to have something to help you out and just secure you a quick and easy kill because maybe you're really weak or maybe you're just getting pushed by too many enemies at once. And this is really useful on maps like Fortress here, or even Crown Raceway, or somewhere that's a little bit more indoorsy and it has some tight corridors that you can kill people through, because again, this thing is going to succeed around doorways and all that kind of stuff, and you're trying to bait your enemies into making the wrong play. They might think you have a submachine gun out, they might think you have an assault rifle out. You go ahead and switch to this pistol, or revolver, and it's going to help you guys out quite a bit in taking people out with ease. Now, I want to talk about the fast draw and how you guys can get a more consistent fast draw effect, because if you haven't noticed, it might feel a little inconsistent, and sometimes you might be wondering, why in the heck is it not using the fast draw feature, and it's just swapping to it like a normal secondary? So here's something I've noticed is, 1, don't fast draw while sprinting. What you want to do in order to get the fast draw effect to work is you want to kind of just be normal walking around, and I find that it best works if you press the aim down sights button and then quickly press your weapon swap button, and it will pretty much always guarantee you that you're going to pull out your revolver or your sidearm as a fast draw secondary. So you're going to get that animation and you're going to get it to pull out pretty much instantly, and this is life-saving whenever you are using the Basilisk. And the reason that this is life-saving, like I said, is because you want to utilize this thing if you're in a pinch. If you can't pull this thing out fast, then it's not going to save you, and therefore it's not going to be reliable. Now, there is one other thing in case you guys really just don't want to use that fast draw attachment, or you just can't seem to get it down in order to pull it out, and you might be forgetful. Fast Hands bonus perk is going to be very useful because it's going to allow you to swap to this thing much faster. And again, I feel that this thing, while Fast Hands is a great option to run, I still like some of the other perks in the perk 2 category, such as Hardline or using Resupply, or Focus, or something of that nature, which I think there's a lot of good competitive bonus perks. So if you don't want to use Fast Hands, and maybe it's just something you don't see as being amazingly useful for your specific playstyle, then that's where I'd recommend really mastering the fast draw effect and trying to get it to come out pretty much every single time you press the weapon swap button. But hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully it helps you guys out with getting your fast draw to work a lot more efficiently and effectively. Now, for the last part here of this video, I just want to take a quick poll from you guys if you're still here watching this video, and I'd really appreciate if you guys could let me know in the comment section below. Whenever you're playing this game by yourself, does it put you in lobbies of late joins? And what I mean is this gameplay here in the background, where we joined a match in progress that's already pretty much like halfway over, and either sometimes we're winning or we're severely losing the match. And how often does it do it for you? Because for me, I just don't like playing this game by myself for that reason. I feel that that's all solo players get is late joins, and my experience has just not been great playing this game by myself because I just can't play full-length matches. So I just want to ask you guys in the comment section below. That's the reason you always see me playing with at least one other person, is because I just can't stand trying to get content in late join stuff, because it's really hard to get content. I'm not gonna lie, and you just can't do what you need to do when you join late. So I wish they would do something about this and make it so late joins are not as often. But anyways, let me know your experience, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say. See you on the next one. Peace out.